All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome back to yet another live stream. Hopefully, you guys had a bit of a break post the Chelsea versus Arsenal game 1-1. Hopefully, we got to digest a little bit more as to what has happened in that game. Big up to each and every one of you guys that has joined in already. Smash the like button as soon as you come through. Sorry, I kind of screwed up with the timing a little bit, but it was meant to happen live right now. So I'm pretty sure soon more people will follow through. Got a little bit of a surprise coming up, which I'm just waiting for a few more people to join in. Got a little bit of a surprise in the backstage. You guys are gonna be so pleasantly, you're gonna take this one nicely. I'm telling you, you're gonna be very, very happy with this one. Big up to you, Marcus. Good to see you, DLM Perplex. Tons of big ups, Ms. Brother. Nehemia, big up. Happy with the draw. Havertz can hold that. Yes. We're going to talk about all the hottest topics in this particular match, and Havertz definitely will be one of the hottest topics. And I want to actually dedicate a whole video on this particular brother that has absolutely pissed me off with that celebration, the shush celebration. But anyway, all right, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan, you guys all know how I do That's Life podcast with Ryan. I've got him at the backstage. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Boom! Ryan, with the cameras on, baby. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying?
Yo, you make me blush right now, bro. Jeez, jeez. You're doing like I'm Beyonce or something, you know? Like he's just there in background waiting to perform.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, bro.
celebrity in this building, bro. I've been waiting for this day when you're gonna go mics on. I mean, camera on, because I've already seen you in Canada. For the people that have seen the particular vlog, you might have seen Ryan already. But for all the people that consistently keep saying, "Oh man, Ryan should be," the camera needs to be on. The camera needs to be. Well, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, and he did say that if we are
Yep.
still third, moving into this international break, that he was going to do this. Ryan, bro,
Yep.
first of all, lovely setting, bro. You look like a proper commentator, bro. I must say.
Yeah. You said I sound like a cricket commentator. So yeah, maybe I
Yes,
should start
yes.
watching cricket and commentating. But yeah, no, I'm just happy to be here. Top four, which is a surprise because we did draw two, lose, only win one out of the five, big
Yeah,
five.
yeah.
But everybody around us dropped points, and it is the Premier League, man. How much people? Four teams at 19 or 18 points. That is
Not just four
crazy.
teams at 19. I think the point gap between third and I think 10th or 11th is like 1 or 2 points between third and
Yeah,
10th. So
yeah. So
look, all I'm going to say is that, ladies and gentlemen, this table is a little bit deceptive. It is a little bit deceptive. Look, we are third and it's fantastic. And we're going to talk about all the hottest topics, right? And obviously, one of them is going to be third and how Maresca is doing and one not. But this table is deceptive. One bad game after the international break, and madness is going to happen. People are just going to go up and down everywhere. And it's now time for us to be as consistent as possible. Ryan, let's get cracking into it. All right, let's not bother people anymore. Big up to each and every one of you guys. Smash the like button. Straight away, smash the like button. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe and put your commentaries through as well as to what you want us to cover. Right, some of the big topics to talk about. Where do you want to start? Do you want to talk about the fact that we are third moving into the international break and how Maresca has been doing overall? Or do you want to talk about other topics? Where do you want to start?
no, I want to start. You know what? You take the lead this one, bro. You tell me
Okay.
where you want to start, and I'll go.
Okay, let's keep the third and Maresca topic at the end because I think, or maybe somewhere in the middle, because I think a few people are not too happy with Maresca, so we'll keep that as we're building up. I want to kick things off with a few of the news that's been floating around. First of all, Madueke. Let's start with Madueke. I want to just read out what I saw online so far. Let me just quickly go to one of the news aggregators and their page. And of course, I want to talk about Nkunku as well. But quickly on Madueke, let me see what I've seen so far. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, maybe this guy doesn't have it. Let me have a look at. People have shared all of this stuff with me. Madueke. Just when you want to find all of this stuff, I can't find it.
Yeah. I saw your video yesterday where your tactical board was glitching on you, bro.
Oh,
Like-
bro, don't even. Oh, it was so annoying.
And then when your app doesn't show you the table,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan, right? I watch all your videos. I know exactly what's going on.
Bro, I love you, man. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Enzo Maresca on Noni Madueke's reaction to being subbed. So apparently he just when he got subbed, he was quite disgruntled and he went straight to the tunnel. He didn't, sit around or do anything. Someone reported that. I'm just trying to find out who that was. I think it was Bobby Vincent, but for some reason, why don't I see this? It's just people tweeting so many things. Okay, anyway, Enzo Maresca, this is what he had to say. Let's get to Enzo Maresca on Noni Madueke's reaction to be subbed off. The problem is that when you change a player, they're never happy. We changed him. It's not only about Noni, it's about all the players. In that moment, we thought in a different way that Pedro with Timber would be more aggressive. Ryan, Noni Madueke, we have said it many times. We understand why he starts, because he works hard. Yeah. But we've also agreed this guy's just not good enough on the ball. And today, once again, similar issues on the ball. Got taken off. Pedro Neto switched on the right side, and Pedro Neto banger of a goal. Noni Madueke, Ryan, talk to us, bro. What's going on?
Wow. One thing I know. One thing I was noticing about him today. You don't feel like when anytime Noni gets the ball, it slows down. The whole game kind of slows down. And he was supposed to be. We know his strengths and weaknesses, but pace is supposed to be one of the biggest things, right? Correct. But I've noticed this a couple of games now. It seems like when he receives the ball and he's dribbling, he's kind of galloping, and he loses the ball. It's like the ball is kind of beneath his feet, lost and tangled. It isn't like a free stride like Pedro Neto, where he could run at players and he's very quick. Kind of like the ball gets lost due to the dribbling. And I think with Noni, he's cannot complain because he's one of the players in the squad that got chance after chance after chance. It's kind of like Jackson. He could complain maybe because he scored a lot of goals this season. He disappears in some, but he's proven that he should play because he could give you an assist or a goal, right? Yeah. But with Madueke now, I think how much games is it?
Well, almost every Premier League games. Almost all the Premier Leagues. I'm pretty sure 11 games played so far. I'm pretty sure he's played predominantly everything.
Yeah, but I want to talk about Madueke, right? Yeah. But I think there's a bit of a bigger problem here, and maybe I should have took the lead when you asked me what I want to talk about. Right?
Go for it, bro.
There's a bigger problem here, and now it's 8 minutes. More people probably watching, but Miz. I told you, I gave you a little sneak peek backstage. I said, there's one person I'm not happy with, and it might be a weird one for you, but I'm not happy with Enzo Maresca. I'm not happy with Enzo Maresca because I think with the identity of our team, I feel like Chelsea is stuck at level 1 and 2 and 3, meaning that you come into preseason, you look at your manager, what way does he want to build play? How does he want to get the ball to the second half? Yeah. Right? With Enzo Maresca, he implemented that quite quickly. We see what he wants, how he wants to build his play. It seems like now that for the past 5 games or even before, the tactics when it get into the second half is stagnant. And it's happening game after game after game after game. If it's not a counter-attacking basketball game for us, we have no... You watch the players and you could blame them. You could say Madueke is not good, Gusto, bad, end product, this and that. But you watch them like they didn't try or practice any of this in training. They don't know what to do. And I want to tell you some examples, right? Yeah. So we play with probably like a back 3 and a 2. 3 and a 2, right? You talk about
today. There were a couple of times we saw 2 and 3 at times where even Cucurella was part of the midfield, but generally 3 and 2.
I think due to having Lavia and Caicedo so deep, I think before, what we used to see was Enzo Fernandez used to be like that holder number 10 there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to receive the ball there, but I'm going to tactically be there. And what that used to allow, the fullback to tuck in, and used to allow Cole Palmer to have a free role in attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seems now since that Lavia and Caicedo came down, Cole Palmer is kind of playing like he is playing a central midfield role, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we get our ball into attack, one in build-up, I hate that we always look to try to get that central pass into midfield to the free man in midfield.
Yeah.
We always stay there, attract the press, and try to get that vertical ball to Cole Palmer, that vertical ball to anybody who's in the middle to turn and then go, right? That's frustrating for me because it leads to so much errors and it's unneeded because you have your fullback free, you have your wide man free. Why not just pass it there and build from there with the wide overload? Make things easier, right? But another thing I don't like is that clearly we want to play through the flanks, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't have gusto in attacking midfield positions to collect the ball, turn, and make something and score.
Correct.
That's never going to happen. Actually, most of the
He's
times...
not good enough to do that. He's not good enough to do that.
Most of the times, Gusto in number 10, his position is we're going to get the ball to Madueke, and then Gusto is going to run in behind. And try to be... So Gusto is kind of playing a wide fullback role anyways. Right?
This is what I was saying, that it's not really too much of a difference. If you look at the heat map, Gusto is not doing too much of a difference than what he would do as a right back.
Yeah. And for the first time today, we saw that a kind of symmetry with it. With Pedro Neto's side, we're seeing that when he gets it wide, then Cucurella is trying to run in behind and to get there, right? But what exactly is the plan? Because when you think about it, please, guys, just visualize with me here, right?
Yeah.
We have our 3 and our 2 really deep. We have Cole Palmer coming down to like central midfield areas. We have Pedro Neto wide, Cucurella trying to make that run. Madueke wide, Gusto trying to make that run, and Jackson. It kind of reminds me of that Lampard kind of hexagon thing, where it has nobody actually when, say, for example, Madueke gets the ball to the wide areas. There's nobody in between the lines to challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, for example, right? Jackson's always stagnated in the middle there with 2 or 3 defenders on him.
Yeah.
Right?
And today, again, same thing. Jackson stagnated.
Even if Jackson drops down in between the lines, right? He would create space for somebody to run in behind. But if Cole Palmer is in central midfield and Pedro Neto is in the other flank and Cucurella is somewhere else,
overlapping, yeah.
Who's going to run into that space, right? And now we need to think about it logically now, right? And I feel this is so illogical for Maresca. It's okay if we're going to play this tactics if you had a target man who could header the ball in. But look at the difference between us and Arsenal today, right? So Arsenal, they had similar tactics to us, and you said that we were matching off each other with the tactics, right?
Yeah.
The difference between Arsenal is when they got the ball near the final third, they were smart in how they wanted to attack. Why? There was always, when Havertz dropped, there's always Martinelli attacking the back line, running in behind the back line.
That's how he scored. That's how he scored, right?
Running into the back line, right?
Yeah.
That is one thing. None of our players are close enough to when one drops, one could run in behind. Second thing is, Arsenal know that they don't have any target men. So look at the type of crosses they play. They played crosses from diagonal angles where even shorter players could run in behind and get it and score.
Yeah.
Not even with their head. They could get
on
it
the
and
way,
score with their foot.
running.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas with us, we have our wide players there every game shooting in crosses as if we have like a huge target man in there to head in goals. Because Jackson cannot head in goals. There's nobody next to Jackson. If Jackson drags a few defenders, there's nobody around him because we see Cole Palmer isn't making it on time to the edge of the box anymore because it's too much distance to cover. Pedro Neto is wide. Cucurella is, trying to have that balance between defense and attack.
Yeah.
So it's like we have no plan when it comes down to attacking. Our only hope is get the ball wide, hit that short pass to Gusto or Cucurella and have them cross it and hope that Jackson could get it.
Now,
there is no plan.
Let me ask you a question, because you pose a really good point here, and to the live chat, join in on this as well, because what Ryan has just mentioned, it's pretty much what we saw today. And it's a very good point in the sense that Pedro Neto and Madueke, they're generally wide players. They're not known to really come inside, although Pedro Neto has shown today on the right side the way he sort of drifted in and then he let off that shot with his left foot. Generally, they stay wide. But if you also then have fullbacks that are overlapping, then essentially you need the wingers to come inside in those half spaces to give bodies inside the box. Now, if wingers are going to stay wide,
yep,
and fullbacks are going to overlap
and stay wide,
then what's happening? Then Cole Palmer needs to get into the box, or Caicedo needs to get into the box.
And we see that Madueke is trying to get in far post, but it's not enough because we have nobody on the edge of the box. We have nobody making. Because the thing is, you watch Barcelona play, right?
Yeah.
They play the same front five, just they have the fullbacks overlapping, and they have the Rafinha, and those guys could play top 10 sometimes, this and that, right?
Yep.
And Lewandowski, right? But just the raw movement between the last line and then the second line of defense between the teams, it's just about making yourself available there with movement. Because what Gusto and whoever is in the half pocket would do, they would make themselves available, but their movement is this: I'm going to stay here, wait for the ball, or come down. When they come down to midfield, nobody's following and nobody cares. Pass Gusto the ball there. What he's going to do? He's just going to pass it to Madueke, right?
Yeah.
But if you're moving not just vertically in between the lines, but you're moving in angles and you're moving horizontally and this and that, right? What it does is that it makes the defender think, shit, he's making angles to receive the ball. My midfielder in front of him can't really track him so good because he's moving all over the place. There's three people, two teammates with him moving like this. In 1 second, I might have to drop in and mark him if he receives the ball. But when that one defender comes out of place, is when somebody would run in behind and collect that cross. Look at that goal. Danny almost scored a couple of weeks last week. Right? I don't know if you saw it, but it was this beautiful ball from Yamal, right?
And Olmo was in the
center, right? It was beautiful because that's exactly what it is. The movement of Lewandowski would draw somebody in, and then somebody would attack that space. The thing with us is that Maresca has us playing at level 3 or 4, but we see in Barcelona is playing at level 8. There's certain levels to this thing in attack. We've gotten the point that we could get the ball from A to B, but now we need to get that ball from B to C, and we need to do it better. We need to have the right players moving. I'm okay if Gusto's in the pockets, but he needs to move better in between there to draw defenders out, to stretch the line and this and that.
So that a space is created for someone else
behind.
And
behind, because the thing is, we're seeing with Arsenal, people, and I used to love to watch his structure. We're matching each other's structure, 1v1, this and that with midfield. But then it reaches a point where it comes down to the last pass the baton to the last runner. Right? And the fine margin was that Arsenal, even though we drew, that Arsenal was attacking our back line. They were running in behind. They were drawing out our defenders and running in behind. And not only that, I want to just end this thought here, right? If we have a thing that we like to switch play, right? But it seems that if our players just have no urgency when doing it, and it could be something that is trained, because if we've seen it for 6 matches now, then it's something that is trained. Why would our players just stay there and wait for Gusto to be available in number 10 areas to just not pass it in? Or if it's a pass, it's a back pass back. The thing is that you have to move players to create space, right?
Yes.
If we have a wide overload, I want you to picture this. Everybody who's viewing, picture this, right? We have on the right-hand side, we have Fofana with the ball. And then we have Madueke and Gusto, right? Then the whole team is going to realize, okay, they attack from that side, so Arsenal is going to shift to the right. That opens space for the switch, right?
On the left,
So the thing is, I was watching Barcelona and they did it so well. A lot of people think that you have to switch the ball to a long ball and get Pedro Neto 1v1. But that is just level one thinking. Right? I'm gonna be clowned for this shit. Like if I have a PhD in football, right? But when I was analyzing that Barcelona game, I was thinking about it like a song and a dance, right? Because if you switch the play with short passes, right? What is gonna do? The whole defense is gonna have to move.
It slides.
But when the defense is moving, the eyes of the defenders will be watching the ball to see where it's moving. And when they're moving, that is when someone have to run in behind.
This is how Arsenal scored, no? Like our whole defense just shifted. The entire defense shifted to the left.
That is when you have to run in behind. Yeah, exactly. So say we shifting the ball to this side, right? And the defense is there. When the defensive line is shifting is where the gaps between the defenders is going to appear. And not every time you have to pass the Neto, the person on the left-hand side, like a Cucurella or a Caicedo, could take and put a long pass in behind for Jackson to attack.
Well, Arsenal had 2 players free because our defense shifted so far to the left. There was 2 Arsenal players. I don't remember who the other guy was, but obviously Martinelli then picked up the ball in open space and got the goal. This is a very good point. I want to ask you in regards to this point, Ryan, is there an element of Maresca feeling scared that, I want the players to play at a level 5, 6, 7, 8, and I want the midfielders to join in now. But is he worried that we are not, if there is a mistimed pass, which there can be, that we're just going to be so exposed and the team is just not capable of coping a 3v4, a 3v5 situation? Like,
I mean,
you look at someone like Liverpool with Virgil van Dijk, Konate, and sometimes even Robertson when they make a 3. They're so comfortable if they're outnumbered. Like, they don't care. There could be 3 versus 5. They're still comfortable. Is Maresca scared to a certain level that we could get destroyed in the counter?
I was thinking about this because I was thinking like, well, in build-up, it seems like we're okay with taking risks in build-up. Because if we have our back line in place, we have faith that 1v1 our players could defend it if we make a mistake.
Yeah.
Right? For example, if Caicedo lose the ball, we would have confidence that, okay, well, all our defenders are back, so we could get the ball. And then none of the attackers are here because the rest of them back, right?
Yep.
But it seems like we're okay with losing the ball there, but we're not okay with losing the ball in the half space number 10 areas because that would be the counter attack where you get it in behind Colwill, you get it in behind Fofana.
I see what you're saying.
Gusto is out. So it seems like we're scared to lose the ball in number 10 areas. So you could be right. You could be right, especially with players like, like Lavia or Enzo. You don't want them having to cover that much ground. You see injury today happened, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand that, but why does it have to be black and white? For example, why can't we put in crosses from better angles to suit?
Why does it have to be all the way when we hit the byline? We can hit inverted crosses. There was one time where Madueke hit an inverted cross and Cole Palmer was just a few inches away. He wasn't there. We don't see too many inverted crosses.
Hear me out here, right? So think about this idea, right? Say Cucurella has the ball here in like a kind of wide area, but tucked in, right? Wide tucked in area deep, right? And then it has Pedro Neto here, right?
Yep.
Why can't? Is it very risky for Jackson to make that run in behind and send a chip ball for him, right? If you lose the ball there, it's not risky, right? And next thing is that we don't seem to have number 10s playing most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Is that kind of like hexagon shape, like what Lampard had, right? Would it hurt, like, if there's a couple bodies close to Jackson, right, where he could draw defenders and there's space? We don't necessarily need to play a vertical pass into that number 10. What we could do is pass it to Neto, and a Neto could cut it back to the number 10. So it's less risky if you lose it there.
Yeah.
So there's ways to play around it. It makes me feel as if like Maresca's tactics never went into second gear. It's just this build up. He's made us from a Europa Conference League team to a Europa League team. But this football we play now is not top 4 football, and we will get found out soon.
And this is why, Ryan, I keep saying just to close your topic that you just said, I fully agree. I think Enzo Maresca, his first initial look, it's a work in progress, right? It's a work in progress. The man has only been here for 11 Premier League matches, right? So it's a work in progress. I feel initially, this is just my thought, he came in to ensure that we can build up. As you said, we are now being able to build up seamlessly. We don't get caught out too often in the build up, especially the A team, right? Now it's a matter of, okay, what can we do in that final third that you were talking about? I think it will eventually happen. It will eventually happen. It just needs a bit of time. Now, in the next, after the international break, if we keep seeing this pattern continue for another 5-6 games, then serious questions need to be asked that, mate, what is going on? You're not able to create more chances, right?
Yeah.
All I'm going to say right now is that, look, for the time being, I personally feel he's just trying to fine-tune the build-up, and I feel like once this is embedded in properly, which it looks like it is, the next phase will be. I mean, is that's not good enough? No,
it's not good enough, man, because the build-up is getting found out. There's no free man anymore. There's the build-up, but like Palmer. How much times Palmer receives that ball now on the turn? Maybe once or twice a match.
Yeah.
Before he used to do it so much. Right? Yeah. It's kind of found out now, because now we have our two deep midfielders, right? Right? We have our defenders, and then Palmer is running down to collect the ball. Other than Palmer running down to collect the ball, who else is collecting the ball? Neto is wide, Madueke is wide.
Yeah,
Gusto, we're not gonna.
Jackson doesn't really collect the ball either.
Jackson isn't coming down, so there's no options, right? There's no options, and that goes down to tactics, man. Because why isn't Jackson coming down sometimes and freeing up Palmer to get into the half spaces? Why is it only Cole Palmer has to drop down to turn? It's so predictable. And it's okay if you want to fine-tune build up.
Is it because Madueke, let's look at Madueke and Jackson. Jackson, I think, is good on the half turn. Is it because he doesn't drop down? Technically he's not that gifted to take the ball and turn with it if he was to drop deep?
I mean, it could be, but no. But then Neto doesn't drop deep to collect the ball.
Neto doesn't drop deep, and Neto should be technically gifted enough to receive the ball and turn, right?
Yeah, and there's a question. We have fullbacks tucked in, and we have wide players wide, but our fullbacks, they can't affect the game from those dangerous number 10 areas. Inverted fullbacks is one thing if you want them to play in deep midfield. But it's a next thing when you're playing them in attacking midfield positions, right next to the striker. Let me tell you, we could talk about build-up, how much. I think that it's very one-dimensional, the way we build up. So much times we could have easily passed out wide, but our players did not, because that's instruction.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And we lose the ball and we make mistakes. Not only that, is that why do we make the same errors every game in attack? Like, it's brain dead to think that.
Yeah, you're so right.
Anybody could see it, that when we pass it out wide, that cross is not going to find nobody or score.
But no one's going to score a header out of that. Just no one will.
Madueke is not going to score a header. Jackson is not going to score a header. Jackson, even his runs with centre backs is really bad.
It's pretty poor.
Right?
Yeah.
His runs is good against the high line, but his runs against low lines, that intricate movement and dragging players.
Yeah, and it doesn't even need to be too low. Sort of like mid line. Do you know what I mean? As long as it's not high line. It's sort of mid line, and then all of a sudden he's
low line is gone. Yeah. This is like a mid-line game. It was not low block. It was a mid-line.
This is the same thing happened with Man United as well. This is the same thing happened with Liverpool as well. And I expected that this was going to happen. I want to now, this is a good segue now. This is a good segue to by the way, to all the super chats. We're going to get to it. Thank you so much for the super chats. Live chat, keep bringing your comments as well. We're going to bring your comments very soon. This is a really good segue now, Ryan. We talk about options in the half spaces. You're going to play fullbacks that are going to go wide, or supposedly they're meant to be inverted, but they're not really inverting. They're not playing in the half spaces all the time. They're also going wide. Why aren't we bringing in players like João Felix and Nkunku, Ryan? What's going on here? What's the issue here? João Felix, for the 4th Premier League game in a row, unused. What is the message we are
and
sending
only
to
in
these
the
players?
fourth Premier League game in a row, the fourth against big opposition, and 4 games that we didn't win. It's 4 games that we needed somebody to come and make a difference.
And they were always locked in 1-1, 0-0, whatever the case.
Yeah.
These players are not getting brought in. Defenders are being brought in before them. What's going on? And Nkunku came in.
These guys have no shame, man. You see how they were celebrating against Norza? They have no shame. They have no shame.
Did you watch my watch along for that?
No, I watched highlights, but I was in awe for the highlights. So how much they were celebrating, sliding.
I was embarrassed to celebrate the goal. I was like, I can't celebrate any of these goals, bro. I cannot, because the opposition was so bad. And I see Mudryk go. And I'm like, dude, don't. Just, I know it was a good shot, but don't do that. Just don't do that. And João Felix as well, who's going around, running around,
yeah, like signing autographs, kissing babies. Like, yeah, I'm like a movie star here, Like, this is like a friendly game in America or something. Like, this one's for the cameras.
Do they not realize they play no FC? Like, a couple of their players, they work in Burger King full time.
I don't know, bro. No, but Miz, going back to the topic here, is that you asked if we don't have the personnel. It all goes to around the personnel. For right back, Gusto could overlap, and Cucurella and left back could overlap. So it's really up to the manager. Because you can't tell me that Felix would not do better than Gusto in number 10 positions. Or you can't tell me that Nkunku wouldn't do better than Gusto in number 10 positions.
Here's the question I want to pose to you. Is Maresca only satisfied on the ball?
Let me tell you. Yeah. Let me tell you this, right? A lot of people say, oh, they like Madueke because he presses. Pressing is one thing. And it's cool. It's cool. But look at how Madueke defends, man. He defends like Willian. Him and Neto defend like wingbacks.
Correct.
They defend with the defensive line. Many times you see Madueke next to that, like in free kick areas, like track and back runs. So I can't see a world where Nkunku and Felix does that. So it doesn't even matter at that point, because even if we have overlapping fullbacks, they're still going to run back and defend, and we still need someone to come and help, right? Because the days of defending with like, you're always going to need your wingers to come and defend. Even if it's not with wing backs, it's going to be a 4-4-2 you're defending, or 4-5-1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, these two guys cannot help in defense, and sadly, our defense need all the help in the world, and that should be our next topic.
I mean, bro, what do I even say? Some people got really upset with me, Ryan. We'll come back to the João Felix and Nkunku topic, because it's a strange one, how these guys are not being trusted at all. So we'll come back to that. But come to what Ryan said, the next topic, the defense. Ryan, me personally, I'm not impressed with either of Lavia, Colwill, or Wesley Fofana. I'm not impressed. I'm sorry. I'm just not impressed. A lot of people today have been saying, no, Miz, you're too harsh. Wesley Fofana was good. It's not good enough for me, man. It's not good enough.
Okay, let me tell you, we pay 80 million for Fofana, man. Is that an 80 million centre back?
No way.
So why are we treating him like a baby? If it was a young centre back coming through from our academy, or we paid 20 million for him, yeah, okay, we could be patient. He needs to learn football. But if you buy a centre back for 80 million, what quality you expect to get, man?
But I expect a boss. I expect a defender that is going to be marshalling that back line. Bro, I don't know if you saw Liverpool. Did you get to watch the Liverpool game? I watched the Liverpool game against Aston Villa yesterday. Right?
Yeah, I watched it, yeah.
Virgil van Dijk and Konate, them two. But you never feel like you're worried, bro. When you're watching them, you will never... You're always like, you know what? They got it covered. They just got it covered. Sometimes, I'm telling you, they are literally 3v4 or whatever. Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, and Konate. And they take care of the situation, but they're so calm, so collected. They're not like fast movers on the field either. It's not like Virgil van Dijk and Konate are just burning down the field. They're just so confident. They just have this, I hate to say this word, aura. Our defenders, bro, they just flimsy, bro. They just look
But we
flimsy.
saw this coming, though. We saw two young, very, very young centre backs with barely any Premier League experience coming to fight for top 4. That is impossible. Pair that with Gusto, who just came here a year ago. Pair that with Cucurella is just the only solid one in our defense. You know, for me, I think we saw it today that we need, from a defensive point of view, James to help out those defenders. Because if James was playing, was James on today at all?
He came second half right at the end when there was about maybe 10 minutes to go.
So it was Gusto who tucked in a lot, and then we lost our runner. And that's how that first goal scored for Arsenal.
Yeah, so what happened for the Arsenal, a few people have been commenting, and I saw the video as well. Gusto is right back off the ball. He comes right back. And then Wesley Fofana is the right CB. So what happened was, for some reason, and I think it's that explanation that you provided, everyone was ball watching where Saka had the ball on that right side, and then he inverted across. Everyone all of a sudden shifted to the left. I don't know whether they were unaware of where their positioning was, but they shifted. Then what happened was Madueke didn't track back anymore. So Madueke was ball watching as well. So,
I think, like, with those inverted fullbacks, right? And I'm talking mainly because, listen, Cucurella would make runs in behind sometimes, but he plays like a regular fullback, Cucurella, right? But with Gusto, you don't think like the trajectory that Gusto has to run from attacking midfield, nearly central attacking midfield areas. When he runs back, it's just super difficult to track his marker on the wide areas. It's like naturally like, for example, if you have to cover ground for that whole pitch, right? From here to here, you could cover, but you will be tucked in. So that's leaving us exposed. But if you were to run from here to here, that's extra distance. That diagonal is extra distance. So he wouldn't make it on time. So in the kind of way you're getting caught out there. So like, I don't see any reason, like any area.
So do you think the opposition are picking up on the fact that Maresca's using Gusto so high up that when he's tracking back diagonally, there's always going to be room left behind?
Exactly. No, he can't track back diagonally because it's too much.
It's
distance.
Too much.
He could track down vertically, but when he goes vertically, he'll naturally end up too close to Fofana.
Yeah.
If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Instead of like this. Yeah. So the thing is like, if you have regular fullbacks who's defenders defending, you know, sometimes football isn't like rocket science, you know. It's like, I don't try to go and make cake and it's roti, you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For real. But that's what some managers like to do. And listen, sometimes we get this might be like I mean, I won't say this, right? But
say it, bro. Say it.
It's like sometimes we respect managers too much because they come from other countries. The Italian accent, we respect it. We wish he could live up to managers like Conte and this and that, worked under Pep, this and that. But if it was an English, I watched our game and I was like, if this is an English manager, man, this guy is getting roasted.
So what you're saying is, if it wasn't Enzo Maresca and Edward Martin, people would not be.
Edward, he sound like from West Indies. He does sound like from England.
Edward Martin.
No one would pay
any attention to him.
Yeah, no, but I was telling you, this sometimes our football look like Lampard ball when that's the next thing.
Wow, bro, this is my man. I didn't expect this. I really didn't
similar
expect
to
this.
Lampard.
I didn't expect this, and I think a lot of the live chat is probably going to agree with you. I mean, Ryan, going back to the point, what you said just before the defensive conversation, and I said this. We don't, but it's an interesting one because you're saying we're not going to get top 4 because of tactics. I was more saying we're not going to get top 4 because certain players are probably not good enough. Bottom line,
but with this tactics, they're horrible. They're even worse.
They're even worse. So
they're bad without tactics, and with the tactics, they're horrible.
They've gone a step below. Look, I've said it all along that I don't think we're there to be top 4. Yes, we are top 4 now, which is great, but the point difference is not that massive. our true reflection, in my personal opinion, is 5th or 6th. And I said it from the get-go that I will not be one bit upset if we are 5th or 6th and then build on that. Ryan, you have seen what you've seen against Liverpool, against Man United, and now against Arsenal. When are you already getting a little bit worried that we're getting stifled, some of the tactics that you're not enjoying, or are you thinking, let me see a little bit more?
Well, listen, obviously, bro, we're third coming into nearly December. Like, well done. Great job, Maresca. I come in here because each week I want to see our team improve. So that means each week we have to be more critical.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be this critical in August or September, but we built. If I'm coming in with my August mentality in November, then why have me in a show? You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah, just WhatsApp me, right? We need to come here. Yeah, don't stop talking to me. WhatsApp me still, right?
But don't call me, bro. Don't call me. Just WhatsApp me, please.
Yeah, but so I think with us, we need to say, okay, we want our team to make step by step. So can't we discuss the steps that should be taken, or should we wait for steps to happen, and then until then we should just play down and be like, well, nothing. Let me tell you something though. It goes to show me is that I want to see what we do in January with the transfer window, because it's clear that Maresca is not going to change this system. It's clear.
I'm hoping he starts playing wingers that can tuck in, or players that can play in the half spaces. If it's not wingers, then play half spaces players and play fullbacks playing fullbacks.
Football isn't black and white, man, because, for example, your Pedro Neto could sometimes collect the ball in half spaces, but then plenty of times he could go wide. That's how normal wingers play, like Hazard. You know? Normal wingers, just call out the best winger ever. It's like normal people like Hazard play like that, you know? Why can't you be like Hazard? You just come here and then go there, you know? It's simple. Just run through everybody.
Man saying, why can't everyone be like Hazard?
Yeah, no, but for example, like a lot of people thought that, we're going to have inverted fullbacks. Both our fullbacks are going to be inverted and they're going to stay in midfield forever. Everybody was doing tactical analysis like that in August or July. But it's not how it is.
It's literally not how we play.
No,
it's literally not how we play.
For example, inside forwards don't stay in number 10 areas all the time. They would go wide and they would go back and forth. So why can't we get a system where we could have regular fullbacks, and in some occasions they could just play off their fullback? Play off their winger. So in times that Neto comes in deep and gives support to loosen Palmer, because let me promise you something. If Neto comes in number 10 areas, then Palmer is going to get more space, because now you can't double mark Palmer. You can only single mark Palmer, and then single mark Palmer, it's over, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. Maybe I don't think Madueke could do that though. I think Pedro Neto could drop in here and go like horizontally, but Madueke, bro, man, when he has all this space in the world, he's gallivanting and galloping and still lose and can't get the ball under his feet, like from off his feet.
This is why I was saying, Ryan, I've taken on board everything you've said. Honestly, I think it makes total sense. But there are flaws in some of these players. Like, as you said, Madueke, the guy, I don't think is good enough to do those sort of... I think Pedro is good enough to drop in and become that player that will allow Palmer to open up. Madueke is just not that type of a player. My issue is, let's say we put Pedro Neto there, who's going to then do... Mudryk is not that type of a player either, who can come in and receive the ball and turn, and he's just not that type of a player. The only other player that I can think can do that is potentially João Felix. I think João Felix can do that.
Yeah, but he can't defend.
But that's the issue.
He can't defend in a 4-4-2. So I don't know why Villa was went with him, because he would never run back to defend in a 4-4-2 for Emery. So
could Sancho be but he's another one. I don't know if he can defend.
I think so. I think he would have the work rate, and I forgot he was playing. Forgot he was a Chelsea player. You know, I was running through people in my head. I just forgot this guy was.
Because the man's missing again. Do you know what I mean? He's missing for us.
Yo, bro, that's who we need, bro. Tanyo, if we want to make that start to get our fullbacks overlapping a bit more and have our wingers be a little more dynamic, so we could loosen Cole Palmer, I would put Sancho in, and I think
Pedro Neto right side.
Yeah.
Sancho left side. Yeah.
Yeah, and both could play on any side, right?
Yeah.
And then you have Sancho could get into number 10 areas, Sancho could get into wide areas, and he could defend in a 4-4-2. He would have the work rate.
You remember that game against Brighton where Sancho was playing a little bit more inside, which then allowed for Cole Palmer to make those diagonal runs? You remember that?
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
How often have we seen Cole Palmer make those diagonal runs recently?
I think we need to get Cole Palmer into a place where we can't have him like a LCM or RCM all the time, man. And maybe we're just doing that because of this run of games. So I can't judge it. Because this run of games, there was a purpose, and maybe we kept the same tactics this 5 games, and we say we're going to stick it through. Maybe we're not going to try nothing too risky in these 5 games. We came out on 3rd. So you may be right. Let's don't judge too much. No. But you see, the next set of games.
I got my man back. I got him back, boys.
Yeah.
He's Enzo Maresca in again.
After judging for 45 minutes, let's don't judge too much. Like, let's don't jump the gun too much. Right? Just like have some level views here, right?
After 45 minutes of dismantling Enzo Maresca's game plan, he comes to one. I made one suggestion, Sancho. The brother forgot that we even have Sancho.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's not judge, guys. Let's not judge.
Yeah, let's don't judge too much. But yeah, I think it's something that in next games coming up. You know the fixtures for your next games. You could put it up.
Leicester next up.
Like the run of games.
I'll tell you straight up.
Premier League. No, Zach and
bro.
Heidenheim and
no more Conference League stuff, man. I think that's a joke. Let's not even worry about any of those fixtures. Wow, that competition is that competition is not good. Okay, Leicester straight after the international break. Okay, it's the early game. Oh, it's a midday game, the half past 12 game. Oh my God. Away from home as well to Leicester. And then at home at Stamford Bridge, Aston Villa.
Tough.
And then Southampton away from home.
Well.
And then Spurs away from home. And then Brentford at Stamford Bridge. These are genuinely 5 fixtures we should be winning, bro. We should. I'm not lying. Like, Aston Villa's a good team, but at Stamford Bridge, we should pick up the victory. Spurs have been very inconsistent. Leicester away from home, I expect us to win. Southampton away from home, I expect us to win. Brentford at home, our home, I expect us to win. It's not going to be easy, but I expect us to win.
I think that my dream, I want to tell you my dreams, right?
Tell me, bro.
My dream is that getting into, and these fixtures, that 5 fixtures will run into maybe nearly January. Nearly.
Good question.
I want to talk about where I want to be in the new year.
Right. So you wanna have a target, right? You wanna have a target. Okay, let's tell you. The last fixture will take us 16th December.
Okay. So we have a busy after that, like maybe 3-4 matches to know. So
Yep.
Is there any big ones in the end of December coming up, like big teams, or did we clear them? No.
Let's bring this up. Chelsea.
Yeah, because I want to just set some expectations because we are going into international break, so we should think about, where we met the goal, though, is to get to this international break in the top 4.
That was the goal.
For 45 minutes, we are here.
But I don't like the points, though. I don't like the point-wise where we are because it's not safe. Okay, so Everton, 23rd December, away from home. Fulham, 27th December, at Stamford Bridge. 31st December, Ipswich, away from home. At January, last fixture is Ipswich. No huge fixture after this international break, besides Spurs, who are very inconsistent. And Aston Villa.
Aston Villa will be tough.
Aston Villa and Spurs are the 2, big ones.
Thing is, and we don't, how I said we can't beat big teams. I won't count Spurs into that. Like, we do beat Spurs from time to time.
We do. Yes.
Yeah. Miz, I think after this, bro, we need to be Because I know that City and Arsenal probably have some tough games coming up this next month and a half.
And they're so inconsistent. They're so inconsistent.
Yeah. So I think, man, I'm going to put my goals here, right? Top 4, obviously, right? But I want to be third or second coming into January. Tell me why we can't. Because if you pull up Arsenal and City's fixtures, they have matches that they could lose. And we just said we have matches that we should win nearly all of them.
Yeah.
So why can't we set that expectation? I know we have injuries, we have this and that, and whatever.
I think we can, bro. There's no reason for us, at least not to be in the top 4 by end of December.
Yeah.
I know you're pushing to third or second.
We're third now. So why can't we keep third?
But the points difference is a little bit, I think 5 points or 4 points away from City. City are struggling, but we are a little bit inconsistent. Look, my target, honestly, Ryan, if we are still 3rd and 4th by the end of December, I'm quite satisfied. I am quite satisfied.
Yeah.
There's no way we're catching Liverpool. Liverpool's gone. Don't worry about them. They're out of sight. Man City can be. I just don't know, bro. I don't want to set that because I'm going to get hurt setting that expectation because I know I'm going to hurt myself and I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt myself, bro.
No, but if we think about progression, and I'm not going to be like, if we want to progress from this, we said, okay, we had 5 hard fixtures and we're not going to look too much tactically into it. We get where we want to go. If we want to see improvement tactically, that means you have to get wins with it, right?
Yeah.
So if we get wins with the improvement tactically, because the next natural step is to win most of these games. Out of these 7 games,
win convincingly.
Yeah, like maybe win 5 to 6 out of the 7 and draw the other 2, but don't lose any.
Correct. I mean,
if we could get to that, I think we 3rd or 2nd.
Bro, if we can get 5 wins and 2 draws, I think we probably will be 3rd or 2nd because
exactly
the other 2 will drop points. They will drop points. It's just, bro, the only way I see Maresca making sure that we get those wins that we deserve to pick up, that we should be picking up, that we are expected to, he has to find a way to get more out of Nkunku and João Felix. Like, I know they don't work hard enough, but he has to find a way. He has to find a way to tell these brothers, you need to work harder. I cannot have this team run with Madueke and Mudryk or whoever else. I need you guys to come to the party. And Sancho is a big one as well, I think. Sancho's fitness
Only way you
huge.
can do that is if he does wing backs. If you do wing backs, if you have a back,
doesn't do wing backs, does he?
So if you have a back 5, right? A 5, and you know how we used to do under Tuchel? We used to have our back 3, but really we used to defend in a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
So be a kind of thing like that where maybe so we don't want Felix and Nkunku defending in wide areas. That's the thing. So if we have, for example, we defending with our back 5 with a back 4, and then one of the wing backs goes up to that second line of 4, right? We could all of a sudden fit in where we could do something like that. So
interesting.
It would have to take. I don't know if Maresca is in a place that he just wants to change everything now, because we reached so far now.
Yeah, I feel like he doesn't want to change too much because I don't know, man. I mean, Ryan, before we go to the super chats, do you feel Maresca, he looks at this squad and go, you're not really tactically, all of you guys are that savvy yet. I need you guys to perform my first instructions well, which is the build-up. And you're telling me now that, Ryan, that even the build-up at times, it's getting found out.
I think he's saying that let's use the thing that we pass to the wide man, have that inverted around, get it to near the box, cross it in, and try to get goals that way because it's the safest way to go about getting goals. You think that's what he's saying?
I think so, bro. I think so.
Because he's intelligent, right? He cannot be seeing what we're seeing.
No. He definitely is seeing what we are seeing. But I also believe he's a manager that don't want to lose. I don't want to lose though. If we can't win,
and that's a frustrating
it's got to be a draw. It's got to be a draw. He's not going to throw the kitchen sink. How often have we seen him throw the kitchen sink, Ryan?
Yeah. I think for me, it's kind of like this. Okay, if we're not going to throw the kitchen sink, right? What I want to see is that when we switch and play with short passes, we do it quickly with intent. So we could, remember I told you about that song and dance, where we could get in behind better. If you don't want to play short passes, stay number 10 to lose the ball. Find those chip passes in behind. We know Cucurella could do it. We know players like Reece James could do it. We know our players could do it. Even Colwill and these guys. Caicedo, these guys could do it, right? With the crosses, when we finally get the ball to the final, to the wide areas, let's cross with intent. As I said last time, the ball should be a treasure. So why is it that when we get the ball in wide areas, it's like we just hit and hope? It has nobody even knows. You see when Jackson crossed that ball, he didn't even.
He didn't even look. He didn't even look. I said it in my watch along. This guy didn't even care if anyone was in the box. He didn't care. He just put, good luck.
But
someone be there.
The thing is, okay, I understand that you don't want your 10s receiving the ball and losing it, so we wouldn't concede goals. But then if you're passing the ball out wide and it plans to cross, then it has nobody around Jackson to receive that ball.
Yeah.
So these tactics would not improve unless some changes is to be made systematically to the formation.
I think it has to do with the oppositions we've played. I will be shocked if we do the same thing against Leicester. I will be shocked. It has to do with
their counter-attack, but we're not scared of the ones to come.
Yes. You know why I feel like that? I have seen matches against, for example, Wolves or against other teams that are not in the top 6. Maresca almost is saying to the opposition, I don't completely rate your counter-attack. I don't completely rate your players that are going to counter. I think we should be able to negate that. These oppositions that we are playing, and Man United included, he's almost sending the message to the players that I kind of rate their counter. They could hurt. So be cautious. We don't want to lose. His idea is we don't want to lose first. Which I agree. That's not very Chelsea-like, is it? We don't want to lose. We should be thinking we want to win, right?
And then sad our defenders shooting us on the foot, because that goal shouldn't have been scored today.
It should not have been. It should. Yeah. And I think this is why Maresca feels this way. He looks at the defenders and he's like, you guys don't fill me with too much confidence.
And they can't bring in nobody because Badiashile.
Bring who? Benoit. You know, bring who? You know what I mean? Like Desassi.
I don't know, man. Maybe Maresca's whole thing is like, let's do what we could do without losing a lot of points until January.
It's safety first football. It is safety first. It is. But we once again have to be careful here, Ryan. I think with the level of... How about this live chat? And this is how we're going to end, and we're going to go through the super chat. Let's see the set of fixtures after the international break, because now we are playing teams that shouldn't be able to go...
Before we go to super chat.
Yeah.
Do you think Enzo Maresca expected to be in this position now?
No.
Because
he said it.
Asking,
he said it.
So before we was asking him to close the gap between us where we were last season and top 4 teams. But now we're asking him to close the gap within top 4. So it's kind of like, you understand what we're saying here? That
I see what you mean.
Because with this crop of players, he probably didn't organize his squad thinking this is going to get us second place. He's thinking, okay, we have players here. Some of them we need to move on. Some of them this and that. Some of them were agent and board buys and stuff. I'm going to make do with these tactics here. I'm going to try to implement my style, but we're not going to go all guns blazing. and when I get ourselves close around the top 4, maybe 4th, this and that, right? Touching distance. But we found our place where, bro, if we win one of these matches, we pass City. We're 2nd place. So that's where we found ourselves.
Yeah.
3 points above Arsenal. Like, Maresca's probably looking around thinking, what the hell am I doing around these two teams right now?
Bro, Maresca has said this in the press conference.
He said that they had years to work with those teams. I only came here a couple months. That's why it should be harder than for 45 minutes.
This is why I was surprised, Ryan. This is why I was very surprised. You went in on my man.
It was you. Everybody in life.
I'm very surprised that you went in on my man. You went in on my man. I've been supporting this guy, and you've been supporting. I think Ryan still supports him, but Maresca has said in the press conference, the owners did not put any pressure on him for top 4. They said, build something special. Build something special. They did not say, you must get top 4. They said, build something special. Maresca has repeatedly also said, we are ahead of our schedule. I didn't expect it to be here. We are ahead of our schedule. Go and look through all the comments and all the quotes, all the press conferences. He's repeatedly saying this. This is not where I expect it to be. We are a little bit ahead. What that means is what Ryan just said. We are in and around Arsenal and Man City all of a sudden.
So maybe the answer shouldn't be, let's switch and change everything. The answer should be, okay, we have some missing pieces to the puzzle. Let's go and get them in January.
Also, I do like the conversation we had about Sancho. I think that is a key one. It's not even let's get more players in January, because I rather wait for the summer window where things are more calm. I don't know if in January we can do mega transfers, this, that, the other. If we can get a striker, I've got no issues with that, but I'm not sure whether top strikers are readily available in January. My theory is we need to somehow get Sancho fully fit and playing regularly in the Premier League and get him to be the partner in crime.
He's going to be a key player.
He needs to be the partner in crime with Cole Palmer. Right now, everything is going through Cole Palmer and he's getting stifled as well. We need Cole Palmer to be the free guy. And we need Sancho to find Cole Palmer. Correct? Yeah. And then you throw in Pedro Neto better on the right side where he can cut in and whip in that kind of shot that he did today. We need to somehow get rid of Madueke because he's not really giving us much anymore in terms of the build-up. Yes, great on the work rate and whatnot, fantastic. But you're not giving stuff on the ball. Sancho will, but Sancho does need to up his off-the-ball work rate as well.
It doesn't solve our problems, but it gives us some time to. If that makes sense.
It does make sense. It does.
I understand, because we can't have everything right now. So it's about solutions.
We can't solve everything, bro. We can't solve everything. Yeah. We can maybe solve one thing, which will make the percentage, a probability of winning games higher.
Yeah, I think so, bro. I think we reached somewhere here, bro. This is like therapy. Like we came to this conclusion, full circle.
We have reached somewhere.
That's life podcast.
That's life. That's life. Let's go through the super chats and then we'll take a couple of comments as well from you guys and we'll try and answer them. First of all, Salman, thank you so much for this super chat. Really, really appreciate this donation. Thank you. You could put a commentary as well. It's up to you. Chelsea FC RK, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Lavia gave away the ball in critical area and didn't track back leading up to the goals. Maresca plays slow sideways cross to Jackson. That is not a poacher. Yeah. Look, I have to say, Lavia the last few games, he hasn't been up to standard. A little bit like Lampard ball, as Ryan said, that hexagonal sort of situation creating. And Jackson, we can't just lump in crosses for Jackson. He's not going to be able to, and him being the only guy in the box is not ideal either. He's not that type of a striker. Chelsea FC RK, once again, thank you so much for the super chat. 5 teams have only 1 point difference behind CFC. That's why this table is very deceptive. It's very deceptive. Drop points after the international break, you're going to get your backside whooped. Felix T, thank you, my man, for the super chat. Why did no one find Reece in RHS when he came on? He's a potential game changer in that role. Try Palmer on the right so he can cut in. Nkunku, Felix in the 10.
So, it is an interesting one. Would you rather Palmer be on the right-hand side? It's a good solution, man. I think so, man. Maybe we could get Palmer where Gusto is playing and Gusto where Madueke is playing.
This is what we said in the last That's Life
Felix,
podcast when we did the tactics.
Felix T. That's a good suggestion. Really good suggestion.
No, remember we said that Gusto in Madueke's position out wide and Palmer in Gusto's position. But the issues that we said that would bring in Felix. You can bring in Felix on the left side. But is Felix going to work? Like, he's got to work hard. Like, he has to work hard. And that's where we're
I'd rather
worried.
In central midfield areas and even defend in central midfield areas than him having to run to the wing and defend.
Right. So you want him to be in the central areas. So who would Lavia would have to go into the wide areas to help out the fullbacks.
So how it would be, right? So I'm thinking like
Felix is on the left side. Felix is on the left side.
Yeah, so even he starts as a number 10, but he would come into the left side to collect that ball where Palmer usually is, and then he would have the support of Cuckoo, and he would have Lavia there. So it wouldn't be like even if he loses the ball on the turn, he would still have a lot of support. Colwill, Lavia, Cucurella, and then Neto still coming in. So now like Felix could be that person that is coming, being the free man, instead of Gusto being the free man. And then Palmer now could have so much freedom because Gusto is going to be wide and Palmer could do what he wants.
Yeah.
And I like Palmer on the right-hand side.
Yeah, me too, bro. I definitely like Palmer on the right.
He started the season on the right-hand side.
And last season as well, he had a lot of joy on that right side, 100%.
That's a good solution. I never think about that one.
We actually did think about that last week in That's Life podcast. We did talk about Felix on the left side when I was doing the formation. Remember when I was doing, and I had
but that was but I didn't think about Felix like a central attacking midfielder, like in our formation, like the 4-2-3-1 with Felix in attacking midfielder and Palmer to the right. I didn't think about it that way. I'm more talking about Felix like an inside left, like LAM. Kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Like a tucked in left winger.
Okay.
You understand?
Right. You're thinking now more João Felix as a sort of central midfielder type of a role.
Yeah, central attacking midfielder. Yeah. So like
central attacking midfielder.
Yeah. So right behind, and he would help Jackson a lot too, because he does have good movement in and around the box.
No, fair enough, man. Chelsea FC Arcade, once again, thank you so much for the super chat. I don't understand why allow wingers to cross. Just get ball out to foul him. Maresca compromise attack and goals for allowing sideways instead of basics. I think Pedro Neto is the only one that really attempts crosses. Madueke is one that really doesn't do that often enough.
Madueke can cross, can shoot, can dribble.
Yeah, it's crazy how he can't dribble. That's meant to be his thing. Once again, Chelsea FC, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Confused manager. He's playing counter-attacking players to play slow, creative build-up to fix defensive issues. Now we need an entire new attack. Paul, look, this is where both Ryan and I said, let's chill. I don't think we need an entire new attack. Let's wait after the international break and see exactly where things are going to be once we have Sancho. I think a lot of this has happened is due to the level of oppositions that we've played so far. So we have to take that into consideration. Next up, Chelsea FC, once again, thank you so much for the super chat. Marissa destroying Palmer, Jackson, Madueke, Mudryk, forcing them slow build up. They're young, fast counter-attack. Poch figured out they are not creative. It's very difficult for us to play counter-attack football when we hold a lot of the ball. Like, I don't know how you can just turn into a counter-attacking football team when essentially you hold. You're basically what you're saying is let the opposition have the ball and let us just stay in a mid to low block, and then we'll soak up pressure and just counter. That's asking for a different manager. You're basically asking for a different manager. You're asking for Maresca to be sacked and bring in a manager. Bring in a manager that's going to be able to do that. Do you know what I mean? All right, Ryan, we'll take a couple of comments and we'll wrap things up. Hi, just saying we've scored the second most goals in the league. Lol, disagree with the chat. We've been involved in some of the most back and forth matches this season. The way we play football depends on the opponent. Do you kind of agree with that? This is somewhat what we established today.
Yeah, that last sentence I agree with. That last sentence.
Yeah, we do play depending on how the opposition is. I agree. All right, let's have a look at this one. Nkunku to Arsenal or Liverpool, and watch how he turns into a beast. What do you think, Ryan, in terms of the futures of Nkunku and Felix?
Wow. I think within this setup, if your solution is to have them get into those winger areas, no, they can't fit because they can't defend in a 4-4-2. But if you want to find solutions like what we talked about, have them in attack in midfield, I think maybe Felix has a bigger future than Nkunku, because Felix showed that he could do it in the Premier League on form. Yeah, and Nkunku is, I would say this, man. I think like Nkunku just hasn't shown anything. He doesn't. At least like Timo had like explosive runs and could run in behind and this and that, and could drop wide and help in defense. But Nkunku does not help in defense. He can't run in behind quickly. He looked like he lost pace. He doesn't score.
Bro, he should be. He should be so upset with himself that he can't crack into the first team. Jackson is ahead of him. He needs to be very upset. Nkunku needs to have a good look at himself and say, how is Nicholas Jackson ahead of me?
We got unlucky with Nkunku because we got him a year before, then he got that injury, and then he was just out basically for all season.
Yeah.
Because I think he was good scouting, man. He was a good buy.
He was a good buy. He was a good buy. There's no doubts about that. Last one, Mike K. Robbie from AFTV said Arsenal title hopes are not over. So if that is the case, does that mean that we are also in the race?
Yes. Let's go.
Wins, draws.
I don't think
so.
First time I put on my camera, I helped me clip saying that we're in the title race, man. This is what I'm gonna do.
Man tried to bait you in. He did.
Yeah, it does. He's the same guy gonna make the clip and put it on like Twitter. Yeah.
Look, I know we're ahead of them in the table. I know today's game was could have gone either way. They could have won as well. We could have maybe won too. But bottom line is they do have a far more stable defense than us. We have a proper defense. Yeah.
So you're gonna truly tell me that if Liverpool loses on a Saturday and we play on a Sunday, you won't be calculating, okay, if we get 3 points, how much points?
No way I'm calculating.
You're not doing that?
I'm not calculating, bro. No way I'm calculating.
So you're not going to do that?
I'm not doing that, bro.
You need to release yourself from the shackles, bro.
Nah, bro.
Enjoy.
You know why?
I've
been scarred. I've been scarred, bro. I've been scarred the last 2 seasons. I am not doing that.
Bro, it's like making a girl laugh over and over, and then eventually she falls in love with you. But you know about this.
I've seen this girl. I've made the girl laugh over and over, and then she slapped me silly. So
no. Hear this, right? All we need to do, Miz, you see how smart I was with this. I wanted to get from international break to international break. Now I'm looking at January. Bro, one step at a time. You can't tell me if we...
One game at a time, bro. One game at a time.
In January. If we 2 or 2nd in January.
What? Go for the title?
Why not? Bro. No. Hear me out. No, but hear me out, right?
Okay. I'll hear you.
We're not gonna win the title, right?
Then why are you building me up?
No. But why can't that be a motive? Why can't our players smell blood when there's blood?
But they couldn't smell blood when there was blood in Man United.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. I was like, last week, 2 people around us dropped points. Why can't they smell blood? I want my team to have that attitude that if someone, I don't care if it's Liverpool, I don't care if we're not in title race. If they only 3 points above us and they lose, I want to be next to them. I want to jump ahead of them. I don't care if it's dreaming. If I could jump ahead of them in November, let's get November out of the way. And then stay with them in December and stay with them in January.
Are you confident they can do that, though? Are you confident they can do that? Are you confident that the players you're seeing, are they? So this is what I'm saying.
Hell no. I'm not confident at all we could do that. But as I said, we just looked at from now till January. It's doable. And the thing is, Miz, it's just that take it one step at a time. And you just
see what you mean. Take it as a block. Take it as a block.
Yeah, as one block. Stay in the top 3 until January, and then we'll look until February. Where we want to be in February. We have to take it match by match. We can't have the pressure of what is our own way. You know what I mean? It's like this. I don't think we have a hard run like this until maybe in April or May.
April. April.
So why can't we take it in 3 weeks and like international break at a time and say, okay, we shouldn't be losing to these teams. We have a good team. Let's just win. Let's get to each one. By the time you reach March, you just never know where you are. Just never know where you are. That's how you're supposed to take it, bro. Just one step at a time.
Nah, look, I hear you, bro. I hear you. Let's see what we do against Leicester.
If we do good going up to January, if in August I told you, right?
Yeah.
Miz, we're gonna be 3rd in January, and City's only gonna be 2 points above us, and Arsenal's like 2 points behind us. You would think I'm smoking crack.
I would think so. Yes.
But the thing is, it's so doable now that we reached this point, November something. It's going to be November 21st when Leicester goes. From November 21st, with the fixtures we have, it could happen because Man City and Arsenal have some tough games.
It could happen. There is definitely a possibility. All I'm saying is I need to see for me to back and believe in that level, I need to see the consistency.
Thing is, we played 5 of the toughest teams back to back, and we did. I'll take it.
Yeah, I will take it. It's crazy how Ryan in this, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined in,
I don't know why it's so negative. Don't be negative, bro. It's like I was always support. The first 45 minutes.
I'm the negative guy.
I was just testing you.
Oh my days, Ryan, you crack me up, bro. I love you, bro. I love you. All right,
yo, you know those memes with like the button, like when you're having a meltdown, right? The best way to like make you have more of a meltdown is to press the button saying, "Why are you so negative, Miz?" And that will just send you over the edge, bro.
I hate that.
That comment, bro.
But I hate that so much.
But Miz, you're like the best YouTuber I like the most. I watch you every day. Don't worry about those comments, bro. They're just messing with you. They don't even mean it. They're just doing the meme.
I know. They're just doing the meme. I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've really have. I know Ryan has as well. I think we've done a full, 360 here. 180 here, to be honest. We've gone from somewhat scared to finishing off by saying, maybe there is light. Maybe there is a huge light at the end of the tunnel. So let me know your thoughts, the people that are just watching right now, and the people that have watched it all throughout. Let us know your comments below, and we shall see you guys very soon. I'll have Ryan on again all throughout this international break because lots to talk about. Lots to talk about during this international break. It will give us a bit of time to ponder and reflect. So we will do that. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya. Goodbye.
Yeah.